About business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
The BPO industry is one of the fastest growing industries in Jamaica. Hundreds of young people were introduced to various BPO companies at the Jampro BPO Career Fair hosted at the University of Technology. Business Access TV was there to bring you the highlights.
This is the first Jampro BPO Career Fair. Why was it important for this to get off the ground this year?
Because I think a lot of people have a really erroneous idea of what BPO is. They think it's just about call centers and sitting in a room with telephones, when actually it's interacting with technology. It's all about customers, but it's about what does the customer need. So sometimes the customer needs tech support, sometimes they need help with a legal matter, sometimes they have an accounting problem. So it's all different types of problems that BPO deals with.
What would you say is the relevance of the BPO industry in Jamaica?
Well, hugely relevant. It's the fastest growing industry we have. For the last 10 years, BPO has added each year between 5 and 10,000 jobs. There's no other industry in Jamaica today that can say that. So, and it's here and it's accelerating, and that's what's great about it.
What would you say is the overall goal or the aim for the career fair today?
We want to expose young people to the realities of BPO. We want them to hear from their peers, from their fellow young people about what it's like to work in the industry. We want to demystify the industry for them. We want them also to hear from some of the successful and expanding companies here about the job opportunities. And we want some of them, those who want to get signed up to a real job.
Sector, without any form of contradiction, has provided the greatest mechanism through which we get far more jobs for the investment dollar than any other investment that has come to Jamaica over the last 10 or 15 years. So we want to spend time this morning to help you students to make a distinction, therefore, between business process outsourcing and call centers. So not just a call center, we're just answering persons, making queries, making complaints. The business process outsourcing organization is responsible for performing one part or a part of a process of another business organization, one in which outsourcing is done to save on cost or to improve productivity. And I've shared with persons that if you look at a normal firm where you have several departments in that firm, and it may be servicing generally the local industry. In the BPO setup, you have a number of persons who are doing similar jobs, but you are now serving international clients. So while you may be in Jamaica in a job, focusing only on the Jamaican clients, in the BPO sector, what you're now doing is in Jamaica. Instead of going to Singapore or going to Philippines or Austria or Finland or Canada to get a job, you can stay in Jamaica and get employment. That's basically what the concept is all about. And we talk about business process outsourcing, but it goes right at the highest level. We talk about knowledge process outsourcing. So whether you're an engineer, accountant, you're a graduate in banking, marketing, you can find a job because it simply means you have an organization that have clients all over the world. Legal process outsourcing. Recently we've been talking about the surplus of lawyers that we are producing in Jamaica. But here is an answer to the problem that through this particular organization, if you are a trained lawyer, there are legal services that are required internationally that we can provide for the world right here in Jamaica.
important would you say an event like this today, the BPO Career Fair, is for the youth of Jamaica?
The government is promoting this the industry. We think it offers, as I said, opportunity for maximum employment. And there's still some misunderstanding because BPO started off like the garment sector in the 80s and this time as a kind of low entry jobs. So most of the people are just basic literacy and numeracy entering to do telemarketing and call center operation, debt collection, in which what they need is just be taught to say the right things. And our dialect is quite easily modulated and they do it very well. And that was the area that many Jamaicans view business process outsourcing as. But as indicated, in the modern world, most aspects of business processing can be outsourced, from human resources management, personnel management, accounting, insurance claims, all legal processing and so forth. And that's where we're heading now. So this fair is to give the young students an indication of what opportunities are there, what skills they can acquire, and what jobs they can get in the sector. And once they get in and acquire the skills, of course, some of them can go off to their own thing. In fact, I have a small group in Montego Bay of youngsters from the inner city who are doing a small company that does outsourcing of their own. So it's really to ensure that the upcoming generation understands the outsourcing activity, what it really means, and how they can participate in it in a meaningful way. And prevent us from really creating a kind of a bump, but rather a trajectory. Because Jamaica tends to do that. We do something, well, it gets excited, we employ 20,000 people, and then bam, it falls apart. We need to ensure that we are part of the global economy, and outsourcing will be one of the things we provide because we can. Jamaica, in terms of services and skills, are very competitive and can do so where we are located successfully. This morning we are here to look at business process outsourcing because the internet itself has made it possible that employment, research and innovation can be done anywhere in the world, and the business, more than half of any business process outsourcing process can be done anywhere in the world. So that the big companies, whether General Motors or Boeing, can in fact say to you, I want my accounts done in Timbuktu, in Niger, and it can be done and delivered to their office in real time. This is what has offered the opportunity that Jamaica can now interact with the entire global economy effectively and efficiently and generate opportunities for our young adults to practice their profession and earn real income. Entry-level jobs, yes, are relatively low income, but there's large numbers of Jamaicans who don't have the capacity yet to work at another level. But the availability and opportunities at the next level is there, and the jobs actually pay better than what now exists. In fact, recently I had a discussion with one of the companies, and I know the fact that they pay better than the banking industry. They pay better than the hotel industry, which is what we promote and many of us see as the way out of poverty and getting a job. Tourism does offer significant opportunities in Jamaica. Tourism has employed thousands of people, but the reality of life is that the difference between those at the top, who earn huge sums, and those at the bottom, unless they get tips, is extremely wide. And there are very few young people who can enter, even from this level, enter the tourism market as a training manager. And the salary offered, I know many UTech graduates have actually walked away unless they can do nothing else. The business process outsourcing industry offers jobs in a tiered way, and many of them are much better paying for graduates. We have developed advantages in the area of business, and I know we are expanding to look at other areas of activity as the country has become known as a good destination with bright and creative people. This career fair this morning is a good place to expand your knowledge on what business source processing means. The government itself, of course, is committed to providing not only the opportunity, but the training that is required. But bear in mind, as I said, it is practice your profession. And the aspect of outsourcing is maybe a shorter part of the course, They seek individuals who are trained as engineers, in the legal profession, in the medical profession, as well as accounting, law, and other aspects of business.
Doggin Global Business Process Outsourcing. Doggin Global can help you with your day-to-day administrative and secretarial needs. We provide solutions for streamlining your accounting and bookkeeping procedures, so you can get on with running your business while knowing that all the accounting and statutory needs are being taken care of. Our BPO services include the following: bookkeeping, preparation of budgets, management accounts, and periodic financial analyses, provision of temporary or part-time accounting assistance, design and implementation of accounting systems, preparation of accounting manuals, payroll services, corporate secretarial services, assisting clients with their business entry strategy into the country, setting up new legal entities, maintaining minutes and other legal documents, non-executive directorships, preparing and submitting annual returns. For additional information, contact us at email info@doggin.global, website www.doggin.global.
Unemployment is not great in Jamaica, we all know that. So we're happy that BPO is bringing jobs to Jamaica, bringing opportunities to Jamaica, and it gives you an option. If you want to be a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, you want to be an actuary, you want to, whatever you want to do, you want to start your own business, use this as an option while you get that started to help you through that. I want to tell you guys 2 stories today about people who I've seen in this industry and how this industry has helped them. So the first person I want to talk about is somebody called Nick. Nick started out with us at VXI as an agent, and he's a big guy. He was an athlete and he got injured, so he couldn't play sport anymore, so he came and wanted to work with us. He didn't know anything about BPO, he had no training. So he came and he was working with us, and after about 6 months he came to me and he said, "Mike, I really want to thank you." I said, "For what, Nick?" He said, "Well, you guys have given me an opportunity. I just bought my first car. I've been working here 6 months as an agent, and I bought my first car. I have it on the road now as a taxi. So while I'm here working, making good money, I have a taxi on the road and I can make money for myself otherwise." And I said, "Nick, well, that's great." About 3 months later, he came to me again. He said, "Mike, I just put my second car on the road." So I said, "Wow, well, that's really amazing." He's been with us for about 9 months, and now he has a secondary business. And he was talking to me about his plans after the industry and how he wants to stay here with us for 2 years, and then he wants to start his own business. And he's now looking at not just taxis, but he wants to buy a higher-end car so that he can, because he sees how our clients come in. They come in either in nicer cars, not taxis. They come in from the airport. We have clients here all the time. So he says he wants for us to give him business. He wants to have a nicer car so that when we have clients come in, he wants to be the person to go and pick them up. So that's one quick story as to how this industry has opened up a door for somebody to start their own company outside of the industry. He was working with us. He continued to work with us and was able to start his secondary business. I know a lot of you in the audience definitely didn't have BPO as something on your mind when you were growing up. You may not have had it in your mind until maybe just today. But as I said, it's an opportunity, it's a chance for you guys to make some money, get a job, get good experience. You heard how you're speaking to overseas people. It's a great, great, great opportunity. I encourage everybody here, no matter what you want to do, if you leave school and you don't have something right away, take a look at any single outsourcer. It's a great opportunity for you guys to get experience. The second story is about a person who was a coach, and we identified this person as a high potential individual. So what a coach is somebody who they're right above the agent level. They give advice, they listen to calls, they help you along, help you to get better as an agent. And so this person started out as a coach. We've been open at VXI for a year and a half. She started with us a year and a half ago. Very quickly, she moved from a coach to a team leader, so she was now responsible for 14 people, helping to develop 14 people. Many people off of her team were able to be developed as well and grow into other roles. They were able to grow from agents to coaches. She then moved to an operations manager from a team leader, and she's now an associate director in the company. That all happened within a year and a half. There's not many industries, whether in Jamaica or the rest of the world, where you can have that kind of growth that quickly. You hear a lot about the jobs that come into Jamaica from the BPO industry, and everybody kind of thinks of them as agent-level jobs. But we have about 650 agent-level jobs at VXI, but we have 900 employees. That means that we have over 250 support jobs. So not only do you have an opportunity to be an agent and earn some money there, but you also have an opportunity to grow into a leadership role, which is really what my hope is for every single person.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just make it clear for you. The business process outsourcing unit, all it simply means is that a firm has a business and they have decided that some aspect of their business, they would like to outsource it to another business to do it for them. There's a possibility that the other business can do it a little better than they can because that's their area of expertise. That's where you will come in. Primarily, what they will ask is for the persons to deal with their customer service side of their business, while they will deal with the technical side of the business. And I can give you a very easy example. I hear you, all of you taking out your phones earlier on. Your phone company can decide to outsource their customer service area of their business. So whenever you call with a problem, or if you didn't get your credit, or whatever the issue is that you might have, you will call and you might get a business process outsourcing sector. And they will now take care of your call, they will answer your questions, they will assist you with whatever information that you need to get at the time. Now, so that's business outsourcing. So as we go along, we're going to talk about what it is that you really need. Now, there's three things that you need to ensure that you know. It is leveraging of the technology or specialist process vendor to provide and manage an organization, critical or non-critical enterprise process and application. There are several areas in the BPO industry that you can be a part of. It could be tech support, it could be telemarketing sales, it could be IT help desk, it could be insurance processing, data entry, data conversation, it could be bookkeeping, form processing, and customer support. So some of the areas that are involved in the BPO industry. Now, in the customer service area, you could work in the customer service area and be asked to do voice over email. Yeah, there are times, many of you, I'm sure, have gone online and you have seen where they'll tell you that help is available online and you can type and talk to somebody online. That could be a part of the BPO industry because that side of the business could have been outsourced. So if you have the ability to type fast, to type, good use of the English language, then you could work in the BPO industry.
What is the Hard Trust NTA's contribution to the BPO industry?
Well, we have a partnership with the Business Processing Outsourcing Association of Jamaica. Our primary role is that we are actually providing training and certification for persons who want to enter into the BPO industry. So right now we have three main types of training programs that we are doing. We have a customized program that is offered over 3 weeks. We also have a job qualification program that we offer for 6 weeks, and we also have our NVQJ, that's a national qualification program, vocational training program that we offer over 9 to 12 months for the BPO industry.
What plans does the Hartress NTA have to contribute further to the BPO industry in Jamaica?
Well, we actually have additional plans, not only in training, but also to break ground. We're actually putting together plans to break ground right now to create a BPO finishing school, where we'll be able to, better able to provide persons with the soft skills that are necessary to work in the BPO industry.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
What exactly is the Avasan Foundation?
We are a non-for-profit organization, part of Avasan, which is a global management strategy firm, and we are headquartered in Southern California, and the mission and focus of Avasan Foundation is in the space of youth empowerment, and we do that through education, providing vocational skill training like the ones we do in Jamaica, employment, getting them hired mostly in the BPO sector because it's a fast-growing industry, and entrepreneurship. Any of them who have the field to start their own business, we give them basic training so that they can put their ideas into action and create jobs.
What has the relationship between the Avasan Foundation been with the BPO industry in Jamaica?
Fantastic. Our partnership with them, so I always say we have two key stakeholders. One is the youth that need to do the training to get the job, and the job creators, which is the BPO sector. I feel very blessed and honored that Jamaica, first of all, has welcomed us with open arms, and the BPO sector has really embraced us. They've given us the opportunity to hire our youth. They give us their trainers. They help our students to come and experience what the industry is about through site visits, and they hire our students when the training is done. So it's a fantastic partnership, and I'm absolutely thrilled that we have this here in Jamaica, and it's only growing.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kefas Francis. I'm 23 years of age. I graduated from the Avasan Training Initiative in 2016. Through that training initiative, I was able to secure an interview with ITEL BPO Smart Solutions, and I got a job. So I have been working with them for the past year and a couple months, and it's really been a wonderful experience.
Hi guys, my name is Samaya Simpson. I am 19 years of age, and after graduating from the Avasan Foundation, I am now employed at IBEX Global, where I am now at for 2 months and 6 days, and I'm loving it there.
And when did you graduate? Just 2 months ago?
Yes.
Hi guys, my name is Ricardo McCarthy, and I'm a graduate of the 3rd cohort of 2016. I was employed by Conduent last year, and I've been working for over a year with them. A great experience. I'm 22 years old, and I really love BPO. Thank you.
My name is Shanika. I was actually a graduate, same cohort as Ricardo, and I started at HGS, which is customer service, and then I moved to VXI, which is sales. The reason why I chose to move to VXI was because, you know, sales, it actually pushes you to be more competitive, and to be honest, sometimes it's better you change your experience so that you can be well-rounded, basically. So that's my experience.
Hello everybody, my name is Traverse Evans. I'm a graduate of Avasant from the 2015 the pilot program. So I was the first graduate. I've been employed at HGS for 2 years now, and I've been loving it. HGS is my second family.
Thank you all so much. I think what will be interesting is for you all to talk a little bit about your experience at each of these BPO companies, because for these students here or the potential future employees, they need to know that there are so many BPO companies and what is it that makes it so unique about each one of them. We know they're all great companies, they're great job creators, they compete with each other, they pay good salaries, your life is very good. I think the gentleman this morning from BXI said that one of their employee has bought 2 cars and has started another business. So sky's the limit. But what I want to hear is, how has this experience been for you, and what was your background before you came here? Why don't we start with you, Travis?
Okay, so before the Avasant Foundation, I was unemployed. I heard about the initiative through a youth group that I was in within my community. From the training, I graduated to HGS, and from that point, I've been there. Working in a call center can be hard at times. It can be difficult, but it's good to have a sound mind and enjoy yourself while you're doing it. Where I'm at, it's like a second family. I don't feel like getting up and going to work in the mornings. It's like getting up and going to a second home, because everybody there is just my friends. I can just go and speak to anyone that I feel to about any issue that I have.
So Shanika, tell me, what is the difference? Tell the audience, what is the difference between customer service and sales? And why do you think you wanted to have the other experience as well?
All right, so the difference between customer service and sales is with customer service, you actually get to, help persons. You have to, become their friend. Hey, what's going on for you? What's happening today? You have to, your soft skills, and you have to build rapport with them. With sales, on the other hand, it's a little bit more, excited. They call in, hey, I'm looking to get some services. How can you help me? Okay, great. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. What are you looking for? So you're basically trying to be their friend so that you can, get their, you can gain their trust, and so that they can give you some, personal information that you would need to get your sales. So to me, I love customer service, but as per sale, it actually pushes you to be, competitive, because, that person has 3 sales. Hey, listen, I want to be top of the group, so I want to get 5 sales. So it pushes you to be competitive, and, of course, when you get your sales, you get your bonus, you get, your, as he said, you get some gifts. They give away microwaves. You just feel so good. Actually, where I'm at right now, tonight, they're going to have a Halloween party. So, once I leave here, I'm going to go on and get my costume on, and I'm going to enjoy myself, because that's what we do at call centers. We enjoy ourselves. So you come, it's a very good place to be. You make a lot of money, and you enjoy yourself while doing it. And it actually helps you to speak very nice, like myself. So, yeah.
That's something to take into account. When these youngsters came to our program, not all of them were speaking English fluently. They were speaking a lot of patois. And we don't allow that. The BPO industry does not allow that. And hear them speak. They speak so well, so professionally, and they speak perfect English.
Those were the highlights from the first Jampro BPO Career Fair. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Back with another exciting, innovative innovative and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we knock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We don't have lots of difficulty because our senior instructor, Sir Calvin Wills, has supplied us with most of the resources needed. But the challenge that we face was mainly making this component, making the up and down movement without the use of electricity. So we had to think about it throughoutly. We just buck up on some syringes. So what we did was, we noticed that when you connect two syringes with a tube, when you push one down, the other one will go up. So we think about it and say, mainly we can use this as the hydraulic component of it using water. Like a liquid, you can use any liquid, not a too thick liquid, a liquid which can flow freely and make the movement. So we have the tendency to connect the syringe to each corner, to 4 corners, and to these syringes we connect them on the framing. So when we have the tendency to push down the syringe, the pen will go up, and when we push up the syringe, the pen will go down. So that is our hydraulic component of the system.
Youth involvement in agriculture is top priority for the government. And with a system like this one, designed to integrate modern technology and agriculture, what more could you possibly ask for?
Garbage collection, maintenance of public sanitary conveniences, upkeep of cemeteries, provision of water shops, road improvement, street lights, poor relief programs, community beautification. All these services are funded by you. Yes, they are, when you pay your property tax. Pay your annual property tax to make Jamaica the place of choice for all.
Another group has taken on the government's challenge of growing what we eat and eating what we grow. This time, it's in a bid to cut imports on a very popular vegetable.
In July 2017, the Caribbean Brawlers Group launched Imagination Farms to produce homegrown products. Now, it's planting onions, Scotch bonnet pepper, sorrel, sweet corn, and West Indies Sea Island cotton on 400 acres of farmland in Hill Run, St. Catherine. Caribbean Brawlers reaped 12 acres of onions under its homegrown brand. This venture is responding to an appeal from government for ramped-up local production of onions.
The statistics are telling us that right now we import over 80% of the onion that we eat.
It is hoped that Imagination Farms output will help to reduce imports by 10%. The company has plans to increase this to 50% over the next 5 years.
We have a targeted program where we are looking at import substitution and looking at export potential. So, for example, for onions, we want to be a part of the thrust to curtail the amount of imports coming to the country. We're importing about 4 million US, 9 million kgs, and we think that Imagination Farms regarding onions, and we want to be a part of that process in terms of stemming, arresting the importation, and we have started on a good road. Our yields have been good.
This project by CB is demonstrating that it can be done here, and it can be done at a competitive price, and it can be sold to the supermarkets and sold to the hotels at a reasonable price. And it's a fresh product that's coming straight out of the ground. They're going to plant another 60 acres. Onions, onions, onions.
The government is calling on more farmers to pick up the mantle and help curtail our onion imports. And support is on offer through the Agricultural Push Start program.
And this is one where anything coming through, rather, that is the inputs. The seed, the fertilizer, and the spray will be given to the farmers upfront. As long as you prepare the land, RADA will have the seed, the fertilizer, and the spray to give you when you are ready to plant. That means that the only thing that you need to do is to provide the labor and to make sure that you take care of the crop.
For more information on the Agricultural Push Start program, call or visit your nearest Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA office. Imagine it, believe it. You can play your part in helping to lower Jamaica's high import costs.
Parents, your role as guardians and caregivers is an important one. We want to encourage you to continue being your children's best example of who they should aspire to be. We know it's no easy task, but take heart with this next feature.
Meet Alex Fraser. He's a 10-year-old student of Dunrobin Primary School in Kingston. He's just like most other boys his age. He loves to play football, hang out with his friends, and play computer games. The only major difference, he cannot walk like most other boys his age. Alex was born with spina bifida, a condition where a baby's neural tube fails to develop normally, causing damage to the spinal cord and bones of the spine. Alex's mother, Tamara Brown, has 3 other children, all of whom have no birth defects. But from Alex's birth, Tamara was determined that he would be given the same opportunities.
I want Alex to have a good education. No matter if anything happened to me tomorrow, I want him to have a good education. Can't complain, the children, the teachers, love him a lot.
It's fun having Alex around, even though sometimes it's like he's not even there. He's so quiet, he's so obedient, and he gets along well with his parents.
Parenting a child with disabilities like Alex's takes extra special loving care.
I have to make sure, go to school, eat, because Alex is a very sick child. Alex has high blood pressure, he has a kidney problem, so I have to take antibiotic every day, I have to take mineral oil every day.
It means Tamara has to be at school with Alex for the entire school day on many occasions, as there are times when he doesn't have an assigned special needs assistant.
We're always here for Alex's mom and for Alex. She has been a strong parent though, doesn't complain a lot, but we have been there in support, maybe for lunch or any advice that she would need. So she has been a great parent. Alex's mother, she never gives up. She really wants the best for her child, and she should be commended for actually fighting to get the best in life for Alex. And we're happy he's a part of us.
I would like to work with computer when I grow up.
Antonika Gunter-Gale, Director of the Early Stimulation Program in the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, works closely with parents of children like Alex, especially in the early stages.
Parents, guardians, caregivers of children with disabilities face a number of issues. Financial, is one of them. When you take, for instance, sometimes a child with special needs go beyond the years of using diapers, they have to take soft food. So that means, the blending, the buying of certain food items, So there are a number of challenges. Medication, you think about appointments. The child needs to go to the hearing, specialist. The child needs to go to the audiology. The child needs to go to various appointments. And it does take cash, to care on the part of the parent for persons who don't understand that this is a child with special needs and the child, act up in the public, screaming, shouting, hyperactive, a child with autism, very antisocial, not getting on like his peers. These things can really cause much stress to the parents of children with disabilities.
But you might ask, how can a regular parent afford all these expenses? And are there any existing support programs for parents of children with disabilities?
There are a number of support through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, under which this program falls, the Early Stimulation Program. A mother, guardian, who really cannot find the wherewithal to care, you have support in terms of intervention. You have financial assistance in terms of a rehabilitation grant that is offered through the ministry for parents or guardians of children with special needs. You have the Jamaica Council for persons with disabilities that also offer support and financial assistance for, starting up your own business, advice, and, that sort of a thing. So there are a number of areas. We have the PAT program that assists with adaptive aids, such as hearing aids, walkers, wheelchairs, medication.
For parents who, like Tamara Brown, are unable to maintain regular jobs as a result of having to be with their disabled children at home or school, the Early Stimulation Program guides them to numerous entrepreneurship opportunities.
We have parents, for example, a simple thing as making soaps, different soaps, putting together, soaps that is tested and passed, approved through the Bureau of Standards, selling soaps. So we have mothers doing phone cards. We have parents doing their little craft at home, rearing chickens at home, doing eggs, So there are a number of areas while taking care of the child at home, the parent could do.
For more information, you may contact the Early Stimulation Program at 95 Hanover Street, Kingston. Call them at 922-5585. Children with special needs need extra special parents.
Though fulfilling, parenting can sometimes be a frustrating endeavor. It may also be a mix of trial and error, but even through those periods, we as the chosen guides for our future leaders have to always be mindful of what we teach them. We have to be the positive and ever reassuring influence on them. And one sure way of doing that is choosing not to use corporal punishment when we discipline our young.
When we use violence in the disciplining of our children, what we are teaching them is that the only way to deal with stress, to make corrections, to change, is by the use of violence. And then we look on and marvel as to why our society is so violent and we have so many murders. When we as parents resort to the ultimate punishment and defend it, that good will come of it. No good will come of it.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is right. If Jamaica is to fulfill its promise of being the place of choice to live, work, raise families and do business, we have to be a positive influence on our children. We don't have to beat them to teach them. Instead, we should all strive to discipline with love, understanding, compassion, and most of all, patience. And that's our show. Keep the lines of communication flowing. Send us an email. Visit our website. Follow us on all the major social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and download our mobile app. You may also watch this station round about the same time tomorrow for another exciting show. Whichever you choose, we'll be here to share with you all the positive happenings on our beautiful island. Until then, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Violence against women is a violation of human rights. Its impact ranges from immediate to long-term physical, mental, and sexual consequences, sometimes resulting in death. It negatively impacts women's general well-being and can prevent us from fully participating in society. Be a better human being. No more violence against women. No more.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Violence is bad. Violence against our innocent little children is terrible. Pretending not to notice when we know or suspect that a child is suffering is awful and morally wrong. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, there can be no keener realization of a nation's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Think about that for a second. I have a voice. It's one of my gifts. I intend to use it on behalf of our children. No more violence against our children. Make your move to stop violence against our children right now. No more. No more. No more.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Hello and welcome to Business Access Television's coverage of the Business Breakfast for the upcoming publication of the Business Year 2019, the Jamaica Issue. I'm Keneal Gale. We are here at the Hard Rock Cafe in Montego Bay, where business leaders and the movers and shakers from the Second City are gathered. So let's go inside, mingle a bit, and then hit the stage.
So we are delighted to have you to participate and share in our second edition of the Business Year Breakfast in Mobay. So that many of you, we know, have traveled long distances to be here, and it serves as a reminder to us all just how important our work is. So as a natural lover and a big traveler, I truly think that Jamaica is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And what I can say is that I am proud to live, experience, and work in Jamaica, and I promise to myself that I would portray Jamaica as best as it deserves, and foremost to showcase to the world what is the special island has to offer. So on behalf of the Business Year, I sincerely thank and acknowledge every one of you extended help to us for making this event a grand success. So first of all, Hard Rock Cafe. So Andre Dixon, thank you. Mr. Fausto Solano, our esteemed partner, Mrs. Diane Edwards from Jampro, and the overall team, a Jampro team that supported us since the very beginning, since 2017 when we arrived. And thanks to the help and their support, we are here in Jamaica and we can conduct our research. I also sincerely thank Mayor Omer Davis of Montego Bay, Mr. Douglas K. Gordon, founder of Canex, Mr. Watson Lawson, the president of Chamber as well, Mrs. Caroline Fisher, Mrs. Tishura Gibbs, Mr. Robin Russell, general manager of Deja Resorts, Mr. Juan Manuel Merilla, my country editor. So thank you for all of you for your support since the beginning. Sorry. And you, my dear guests, leaders of the country that are leading not only Montego Bay, but Jamaica to the future, I thank you and welcome you. So we stand for bringing Jamaicans together and making Jamaica a better place, a more unified and a more connected place. So most of us already know who we are and our role. However, for the new faces today, let me tell you what TBY is. So TBY is a global media group specialized in economic news and research on national economies and business intelligence. So we have operations in over 35 countries. Our head office is based in London. We have regional offices in Istanbul, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Mexico City. And we have a strong presence already in Latin America. So the way we carry out our research is that we meet face-to-face with the community of leaders, and we stay for an average of 6-8 months in the country to meet with the most strategic leaders and most prominent figures of the country from the main and most important companies, as well as the governmental officials from the public sector. So over 70% of our publication consists of interviews, so that we provide the most accurate and up-to-date perspectives from the experts themselves. So as some of you know, the business year arrived in 2017 for the first time in Jamaica. And we have been invited by the Jamaican Promotion Corporation to compile a comprehensive research on the economy of Jamaica, combining our international expertise with their local experience. So following the success of the first edition of the Business Year Jamaica, we just renewed the MOU with JAMPRO to continue our research and compile the second editions on Jamaican's economy. So our final goal is to create an annual publication about the economy of the country. Thus, our unique platform represents a who's who of the decision makers of the country. And the publication recirculates locally in the region, but also abroad. On the businessyear.com as well, and since 2018, we have a partnership with Thomson Reuters Icon, Bloomberg Terminal, and Dungeons Factiva. So today, we are all together because we need your full cooperation and support to truly reach the stage where we can have prosperity for all. So we know that Jamaicans, people want to tell stories that are wrapped in their own textures, language, and humanity. So we are here to use our platform to change the global perception and narrative surrounding Jamaica to truly reflect the economic potential of the city and the island, and further highlight the vibrant and dynamic local leaders, such as yourself, that are moving Jamaica forward.
I am very happy to be here this morning on behalf of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce, because this breakfast launch is for us another opportunity to carry out what we believe is one of our natural duties, indeed obligations, as a chamber, that being support and aggressive marketing of this space that's otherwise known as the tourism capital of Jamaica. We recognize this is another grand opportunity, not just because what you will learn or have learned about the reach and the capabilities of the TBY, but this is a place where we have been before. That is to say, only last year the Chamber connected with TBY and the results commencing with the showcasing at the Jamaica Investment Forum last year spoke volumes. In fact, yes, as Aska said, they officially launched their first publication, the TBY Jamaica, at the forum in partnership with JAMPRO. So let me also recognize the TBY for one, the interest it has taken in Jamaica and the excellent way in which it had delivered on marketing this space and all the great products and services available. You know, I will admit, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm also very happy for the opportunity this morning for selfish reasons. Yes, selfish reasons. Because I've recognized that this partnership, this renewed connection, sits very well with three overarching strategic initiatives for my administration. Indeed, the 10-point strategic plan for which this administration was mandated to execute on are all within the areas, namely member centricity, modernization, and advocacy. Member centricity, here we want to zero in directly on our membership, on how we can facilitate direct benefits. We had and we still have in mind the sweet deal access, which we are now referring to as the member-to-member discount program. And I encourage all our members to sign on and don't be left out of this pool. We are seeing to the delivery of worthwhile, cost-effective training programs to benefit the members and their staff. This, we know, will have direct benefits in sharpening a critical asset for most, if not all, businesses. And I'm referring to human resources. And I want to recognize Dollar Financial for the sponsorship of our first training program. We expect to arrange a second one in November with a focus on digital marketing. And again, we encourage our members to use the opportunity provided by the Chamber. Member centricity is also about improving networking opportunities and improved flow and regularity of communications amongst our members. That's also being done through our monthly meetings, which we have also now added a new twist of getting these away from the Chamber office facilities, but to different venues across this wonderful city. Hello, Pier 1. The TBY Jamaica connection gels with this mandate of member centricity, as what is top of mind for us is our membership being able to reap the benefits, those who decide to utilize the services of TBY, they should reap the benefits from the tremendous reach and capabilities for which TBY Jamaica offers.
We take our first break here on Business Access Television's coverage of the launch of the business year. We are in Montego Bay, and when we come back, we will hear from the mayor of Montego Bay, Homer Davis.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bills? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life surrounds art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo. Only on Business Access TV.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Welcome back to Business Access Television's coverage of the launch of the 2019 Business Year publication, where Jamaica will be getting another solar issue. We will now hear from Montego Bay's Mayor, Councillor Homer Davis. Let's go to the stage.
Montego Bay, our little city, our friendly city, our beautiful city, carries the title. And it's not something from my imagination. It is something that has been recognized, that we are the fastest growing city in the Caribbean. And for that, you, the members of the business community, you, the members of the Chamber of Commerce, and those who are involved in tourism, ought to give yourself a round of applause for that. Hadn't it been for you to take a risk, investment is a risk, then we would not be seeing what we're now seeing in Montego Bay as it relates to development. So, Montego Bay, the status as it is now, is due largely to work being done in marketing Jamaica as the best place for almost everything. I could say tourism, I could say BPO industry, I could say other investments, tourism-related entities. But what stands out is that Montego Bay is the preferred location. And it is a preferred location because I tell people that Montego Bay is an hospitality area. We have learned to welcome people. It doesn't matter where they are. As a matter of fact, my friend there said when he's in Montego Bay, he feels more welcome. He feels as if he's a part of a community. There's an intimacy with Montego Bay, and that is why Montego Bay is really the preferred location. You've been here for 2 weeks, you're no more stranger. You know just about everybody. You know about just all the eatery, all the drinking spots, all the place to be. And that is a good thing with Montego Bay. So we enjoying what we're now enjoying. It's not an accident. It is a culture. It is a culture that I've developed over the years. Because I came here 40 years ago, and that was the culture where the people of Montego Bay embraces their visitors, whether they are local, they are foreigners. They embrace you. And that is the thing with Montego Bay.
I'd like to start by commending TBY and the JAMPRO team for the initiative to launch the publication last year and the push for a second year. As the mayor said, Montego Bay has been consistently one of the fastest growing economies in the English-speaking Caribbean, and it's important that that be highlighted and presented on a platform that will spur further investment into our future. Last year, I was very active in supporting the business year's objectives because we saw it as an opportunity to highlight some of our companies and entrepreneurs, as well as to promote business in the city. And I would like to say thank you to the TBY team for accepting my proposal last year to ensure that Montego Bay had a special focus in the publication. It would be remiss of me not to also mention that I'm especially grateful for the special attention the city received at the launch of the event at the Jamaica Investment Forum in June of this year. Wearing the hat of I Love Mobay, I am delighted that the business year will now be giving internship opportunities to our youth to allow them to work on a publication of this caliber, reaching a global audience. Business leaders, I implore you this year to facilitate the team from TBY. Ensure your businesses are represented in the publication and your industries are highlighted. I Love Mobay congratulates the business year once again. We wish for you much success with the 2019 publication.
What was your major takeaway from the presentations this morning?
Well, the fact that we're covering Jamaica again for this year. We did last year, and it was good highlight, good focus, and we know that there's a laser focus kind of interest now on Jamaica. We have done very well in the Doing Business report, in the Global Competitiveness Index, and so this, will take us further in positioning and presenting Jamaica as a great place for investments.
So what are some of the opportunities do you see for your industry in particular from a publication such as this?
Well, as you know, we're in the global services business. So our interest is customers looking to do business with existing providers, new entrepreneurs, new businesses in Jamaica. So anything that promotes the capabilities of Jamaica, that highlights the growth and development and the complementary businesses that support global services is good for our industry.
In your presentation, you spoke about the importance of a magazine and publication such as this to Jamaica and to Montego Bay. How will you be ensuring or encouraging your members to try to leverage this type of exposure?
Yeah, well, look, we as a chamber, we always understand the power of marketing, the power of getting your message out. You could have the very best product. You could have, it's the best thing since sliced bread. But if you're not getting your message out to the marketplace, it really means nothing. So we encourage and we will encourage our members to jump on this opportunity. It's, as I had said earlier this morning, that it's a place where we have been before because we did it last year. It was highly successful. You've seen the product, and they're also on the World Wide Web, and you can view it there. And they have the capacity to get your message out globally. We encourage our members to look at it and to see how well they can exploit the opportunity.
Every day you wake up, you have another opportunity to make this little island better, safer, a place where we all can be proud to call home. It's time we all recognize that every little thing we do has an impact on the Jamaica we live in now and the country we're leaving for our children. So promise me this, promise yourself this: no more will we tolerate criminals, even if it's our relatives. Tell them they're doing something wrong. Tell them to stop. Tell them no more robbing our children of the Jamaica they deserve. Tell them no more crime.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
From this type of publication, this type of exposure, what are some of the industries that you would want to see attracted to Montego Bay from these investors?
Well, Montego Bay is known for tourism, the BPO industry, that one is growing, farming, which I think we have a very good opportunity for not Montego Bay, but for St. James, especially the southern section of St. James where the farming lands are located. Because we have a service industry, and a great part of that service industry and this hotel industry is that the visitors who come here, they eat and they drink. I am not sure, or I could say that I don't think that we are really taking full advantage of the supply chain.
So you're saying there's a lot of untapped potential there?
I think so. I know so. Because from time to time you will hear things. Hotels have to be bringing in this type of agricultural produce, this type of agricultural produce. But with what I've been hearing from Minister Shaw, who is the agricultural minister, and J.C. Hutchinson, it tells me that there's a thinking now taking place that our farmers need to understand that farming is a business. And if you're running a business, it has to be run efficiently, effectively, and it runs in a way in which you can make profit and you can sustain and maintain your family and your life.
Tell us a little bit about SolarBuzz.
Well, SolarBuzz is a energy company focusing on renewable energy. So we install mostly solar projects for residential and commercial clients. We also do a lot of glass glazing and tinting to help reduce heat loads coming into properties to also reduce their energy consumption.
How do you see a company like yours and other similar companies benefiting from Jamaica getting another issue of the business year?
I think that anytime a publication like the Business Year focuses on Jamaica, they're so prominent that it shows us in a very good light worldwide, and business people around the world see Jamaica as a viable investment. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity, and I think we should be very grateful to have them focus on our island.
What kind of investment do you see, or potential investors do you see being attracted by this publication in terms of to come and invest in Jamaica?
Well, I mean, I think we'll continue to see the BPO market grow. I definitely see the energy sector, which I'm focused in, growing. I mean, when I read through the last publication, there was just so many different opportunities that I think that we're going to get a variety of investors looking on the island and just seeing a tremendous amount of opportunities. Even when I read through it, I was getting ideas in other sectors that I'd love to be a part of, but you just can't do everything. So.
Are there also opportunities for future collaboration between local companies and overseas companies?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we collaborate with overseas companies all the time. So, you have to understand your expertise and where you are in your business cycle. When SolarBuzz was just starting out, I knew that I needed some guidance. So I partnered with bigger companies than myself from overseas, and I cut them in on the deal, and they helped to train us and bring us up to standard of international standards where we are now. So yes, strategic partnerships are a great opportunity to grow and become viable on your own.
Tell us a little bit about what are some of the expectations for the 2019 Jamaica publication?
So our expectation is to portray the economy of Jamaica and meet face-to-face with the community of leaders and investors of Kingston, Montego Bay, and the whole part of the island, in order to highlight the business opportunities, but also highlight the economic trends of the country. And our final goal, is to create an annual publication about the economy of Jamaica, and as well as attracting and boosting the economy of Jamaica, but attracting as well foreign direct investment in the country.
For those who aren't familiar with the publication, tell us a little bit about your audience and other publications, other countries that you've done publications for.
Okay, so thank you. Very good question. So actually, our readers are investors, our leaders. So all the publication is read by general managers, CEOs, and all the community of leaders from the private and public segments, the main important companies as well as governmental officials, ministers and prime ministers, leaders of the country. And we reach out 9,350 readers in Jamaica and 88,000 readers internationally, as well as we distribute the publication online on thebusinessyear.com. And since 2008, which is a breakthrough in the history of the business year, is that now we have a partnership with Thomson Reuters Icon, Bloomberg Terminal, and Dow Jones Factiva.
How much of a big deal is this for Jamaica, the Jamaican economy, and businesses in Jamaica?
So it's a great way to give the voice of Jamaicans himself and experts himself and showcase the strengths and the opportunities of Jamaica and the business opportunities in the international scene.
And that's how we end our coverage of the Business Breakfast for the publication of the Business Year's 2019 Jamaica issue. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. I'm Kenil Gale. Pleasant viewing.
As a teacher for over 8 years, we need to realize that the children are our future. We need to love them, appreciate and respect our children. No more violence against children. No more!
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
It's the last PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018 and Business Access TV as usual is here to bring you the highlights. I'm Javon Keys, stay tuned.
Mr. Mitchell, so tell us about the theme for this morning's breakfast.
The theme for this morning's session is citizen security as a tool for effective crime management. It is intended to raise the awareness of what citizen security is, and shortly, citizen security is the level of confidence that the average citizen feels in his community and how he feels about his ability to move around in his environment and what structures the government, the state can place around the community to increase that level of confidence. How the police force and the security forces behave is critical to citizen security. So we're trying to raise the awareness of the population on citizen security and to make people realize that hard policing alone is not enough, that you have to raise the confidence of the citizens in what you are doing.
So how important is it for businesses generally to be concerned about citizen security?
Well, I think it's very important that the level of investor confidence and the level of the business community's confidence is raised in that their stakeholders can come to work, their employees can come to work, that they can move freely around in the community, and that they will have certainty of operations generally in the society at large.
And for businesses out there considering being a part of the PSOJ, what are the benefits?
I think the benefits of the PSOJ are, among other things, that you get a platform to express your concerns, to express your interests. You get information. We have a monthly economic bulletin. You get President's Fora like this. And you also get to find out what's going on in the society that you operate in. Then we have networking. We have mingles on a quarterly basis, so you do have networking with other members and with important influencers in the society.
So firstly, tell us a bit about what First Rock Capital does.
It's really a real estate investment holding company which has as its core focus real estate investments and private equity.
So how important is a company like that now in this day and age?
Well, truthfully, real estate represents the most finite investment asset, and what it offers is above average returns and stability with respect to capital.
So this morning you're going to be inducted in the PSOJ. How does that feel?
Excellent. You know, the PSOJ's mandate is a very solid one, and you know, the PSOJ has been doing a lot of work with respect to, you know, championing and being an advocate for businesses and just the private sector in general. And what better way to express our support than to be a member?
So we're zoning in a little bit on the discussion this morning. It's about citizen security. How does your company play a role in that, or does that affect your company any at all, do you think?
I mean, security, you know, continues to be a main issue and at the forefront as well of all major businesses and individuals as well. So anything that we can do to enforce or reinforce the importance of it, then, you know, it has our support.
Citizen security, in every sense, has become a vital part of effective crime management. And as we all know, the crime that currently pervades Jamaica negatively impacts human development, it affects our economic development, it touches our social and cultural rights at the local, regional, and international levels. We know this, that when a country fails to protect its people from crime and violence, it leads to a breakdown in the relationship between those in power and those who are being governed. Therefore, we have to ensure that the correct checks and balances are made to foster that relationship by creating the required community action plans, better citizen police arrangements, and having an overall coordinated system of crime control and crime prevention. We've seen the implementation of the states of emergency. We've also seen a number of zones of special operations being declared across several communities in the country in a bid to really put a cap on the criminal acts taking place in those areas. We've seen some positive results, certainly when it concerns St. James and the murder figures trending positively downwards. And we've also seen where acts of violence in general has trended down in these areas. What more can we do? We will explore all of that this morning. But we'll also talk about whether these approaches are indeed effective and how much more can be done in this area. Moving right into the rest of the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Howard Mitchell, President of the PSOJ, to deliver opening remarks.
The subject that we are going to discuss this morning is a critical but not a well understood one, I think, in this society. I think that it is fitting for the PSOJ to end the year with the same topic that we started the year with, which is the issue of crime. The issue that has plagued us every year for more than the last 30-odd years, that has become endemic, that has been written into the fabric of our culture, that children have grown up with, that women have had to learn to live with, that businesses have had to write in permanently into their balance sheet protective devices for their stakeholders. I think it is so important that we remove the callous protective indifference that we have developed towards crime and face it in its stark terms and understand its motivation, its structures, and how to minimize it. You will never rid a society completely of crime, but you can reduce its impact and the terrible consequences on your people. So that I think we want to raise the level of awareness of citizen security in Jamaica, because if we are going to move from growth to development, then we need to understand that our human resources, our citizens, the people of our nation, are the most critical component of that development. And you can have growth. You can, in fact, have growth that mitigates against development by increasing marginalization of a society and sowing the seeds for its eventual destruction. So we need to be mindful, and we need to start planning for that.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have more from the final PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018 after this break.
Full-service HR solutions. Whether attempting to increase market share, improve profitability, or add staff, every company is trying to grow. Unfortunately, every company also encounters challenges and experiences pain during the growth process. Not surprisingly, many executives don't have the time to address these challenges without shifting their focus away from revenue-generating tasks. That's where we come in. At Dog & Global, we're passionate about helping people like you grow their businesses, take better care of their employees, and enjoy a higher quality of life. And we've been doing just that for more than 17 years. What sets Dog & Global apart from other HR outsourcing firms is our ability to create customized and scalable service offerings that not only meet your organization's current needs, but also can grow as your business grows. Why our model works. We deliver our HR services in one of two ways, either through a professional employer organization arrangement, PEO, or through an administrative services organization, ASO, arrangement. Professional employer organization, PEO. Under a professional employer organization arrangement, your company enters a co-employment relationship with Dog & Global. This allows us to act as the employer of record for your business, facilitating shared liability with Dog & Global on employee-related matters. This arrangement also gives us full authority to perform many of the tedious administrative tasks associated with being an employer, payroll administration, benefits reconciliation, etc., on your behalf and process all employee-related taxes under our tax identification number. Administrative Services Organization, ASO. Dog & Global ASO model allows you to pick and choose from our wide array of services to create a custom offering designed to support or supplement your current in-house HR staff or internal processes. This a la carte approach is more like traditional business process outsourcing and vendor-client relationships, and works best for large and established companies that already have an HR infrastructure in place. For additional information, contact us at email info@doggin.global, website
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're tuned into BATV's coverage of the final President's Breakfast Forum for 2018. Let's head to the stage.
I now invite our President, Mr. Howard Mitchell, to make his way to the podium to present the certificates to our new members. So, our first inductee today has joined us as an individual member. Please join me in welcoming Nadine Burrows-Siaga. Nadine has managed Island Broadcasting Services Limited, better known as KLAS-FM. She has also worked with National Supply Company Limited, Stewart's Auto, Silver Star Motors, T-Tech Limited, and Prime Sports. 876 on the go. One of our new corporate members to allow commuters to book cabs and make payments online, making transportation more secure for passengers and also for drivers. Bumblebee Digital Agency, specializing in targeted Wi-Fi advertising, digital marketing, social media management, and integrated marketing campaigns. The company has been reinventing how regional partners connect with their audience through its team of professionals and innovative concepts. First Rock Capital Holdings, an easily understood business model. By owning and managing properties that generate income, developing these properties and selling them for financial gain. Green Solutions International is a regional company created to advance energy and environmental sustainability throughout the Caribbean, with the goal of enabling energy-sufficient communities. Green Solutions International, welcome to the PSOJ. Michael University College. Joining us as a corporate member, Michael University College is the oldest teaching institution in the Western Hemisphere and continues to produce graduates who are critical thinkers and prepared to make an impact locally, regionally, and internationally. The Regis franchise is another corporate member being inducted this morning. Consistently providing client solutions, they deliver 100% managed and maintained workspaces as they continue to build their global footprint. Trend Media, they've successfully transitioned from being an online content provider to a full-service digital media house. One of its flagship e-publications, Loop News, is now identified as a credible local news provider. Let me once again congratulate all our inductees collectively.
To our panelists, thank you so much for joining us on a very important topic, one that certainly has dominated the news cycle and the national conversation where it concerns this issue of crime, but more so, citizen security. I want to thank you and we look forward to your inputs this morning. I want to start off with you, Mark Shields. What does it really take to deliver citizen security?
Citizen security, as far as I'm concerned, starts with some very basics that are important to all of us that live, work, come to Jamaica as visitors. I delivered a speech a month ago at the CIN lecture in New York, and I started the point by saying two things. One is, I've been in Jamaica for 15 years, and in 15 years, 20,000 people have been murdered, which seems an awful lot of people to me, and that's 20,000 people murdered, plus thousands and thousands of families, the victims, the untold victims of people who have lost their husbands, wives, sons, daughters, cousins, aunties. So there's all of that group there, 20,000 people murdered. That's a stark statistic. And then we get back to living in Jamaica as it is today. And I have real concerns that before we get on to the technical side of community intervention and real building communities, that we're not doing the basics. It seems acceptable that traders in downtown Kingston can just take over the pedestrian footway. They can hang their garments in front of other shops. It's at a situation where many people who would like to go downtown dare not go downtown because they're in fear. It is also that when I drive to Montego Bay, and as a friend of mine just wrote to me yesterday, he said he is more fearful of driving to Montego Bay than he is of gunmen in Denham Town and elsewhere. Because as you know, because you guys do it as well, every time you drive to Montego Bay, you take your life in your hands because you see the bad standard of driving. And that is a real threat, and life should not be like that.
Yeah.
The third point I make is something that I've been, let's say, tweeting about over the past couple of months, and it perhaps became even more ironic last week into this week, that, again, the basics. If you look at the so-called licensed taxis in this country, where there are very clear rules and regulations that say that the windows must not be tinted, that there shouldn't be any markings on those taxis, that they should abide by the law like the rest of us, obeying red lights, not cutting up on the outside, all of that stuff that you guys live with every single day of your lives and causes you all stress. And I believe that we have to start by dealing with that. Now, people say, well, how do you do it? I'll take the last one first. There should be a war on licensed taxi drivers and unlicensed taxi drivers. It should be not just the police responsibility, because we always take that short-sighted view, well, the police aren't doing their job properly, but there's a transport authority. There appears to be a very vocal representatives for taxi drivers who came out last week because they were upset about the amended Road Traffic Act, which of course is a good thing and is designed to actually bring us into line. So I feel that we can do a lot. We should be able to live in a normal society, and that means before we get to anything technical, we need to get those basics right. Not rely just on the police, but just take taxis as an example. There is no reason at all why the Transport Authority, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the local authorities, those who represent the taxi drivers cannot get together and clear it up overnight, make it safe for us. We're lucky, most of the people in this room, I bet, drive their own cars to and from work. We don't have to put up with some of the terrible situations that other people crammed into taxis and buses have to. So I think we also have a duty to them to try to improve things.
We are up on another break, but please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Thanks for staying with us. Here are more highlights.
From where you sit, Mark Shields speaks much towards institutional strengthening. But I want to put to you the citizen having a responsibility as well, and how the citizen carries out that duty within the democracy. Do you see Jamaicans stepping up to call for the kind of order that Mark Shields is advocating for, or are we merely bystanders?
Let me say, if I use the PSOJ and its president as an example, we would say that we're not standing up. In February of this year, the president called rightly for an oversight committee to deal with crime and violence. Now it is November, and we have not seen it. How many citizens, how many civil groups have supported that call is really inadequate.
We heard an announcement from the Prime Minister yesterday in New York saying that he's going to be setting up a commission on crime early in 2019.
Yeah, I heard it before that it was going to set up a summit.
Yes, we heard about the summit too.
Yeah, so it's not new. What I said on Sunday at a congregation in St. Thomas, and Mark Shields was mentioning 20,000 killed since he has been here. And I've been here a little longer than him. I said that if any year 500 persons were killed who are the brightest and best, influential leaders, we would find the resources and the time to make significant changes. In other words, because it's not affecting us so much, I live in a gated community. Some people have protective services, but anytime it starts to affect us greatly, we will do more.
This is where I'd love to bring you in, Richard Divins, because the question is, how much of a rights-based approach do we take in dealing with citizen security?
Well, this is something that the government has been starting doing in the last years, at least for a program that we have been supporting, which is the poverty reduction program. And in a certain way, the fact that we are supporting the social inclusion of areas of here in Kingston and other areas in Jamaica, the fact that we are trying to promote a better economy in those areas, we are trying to promote the safety, the social cohesion. This is something which is very much related in improving the security in those areas. And in this respect, it is very important. It's very important when the government, or together with international donors, we are supporting the design of a citizen security program in the social aspect of the citizen security, the participation of the communities in the decision-making of the activities, of the project, of the initiatives is crucial. Without the participation of the civil society, without the participation of the community, it's impossible to take ownership. We need the commitment of the people.
The question is, what are they committing to, especially when they already think that it's a sort of a one-man against the world situation, the rest of the society is against them. They are there ensconced in their own, enclaves, so to speak, thinking that they abide and apply their own rules. Here comes now social intervention, trying to change all of that. But how much will social intervention be influential to the process? What else is needed?
Social intervention will contribute a great deal. It has been contributing and it will continue to contribute. But by itself, of course, social intervention will not do everything. You speak of citizen security as effective crime management. Citizen Security and Justice Program is out of the Ministry of National Security, but it has a component that deals with the Ministry of Justice. When we look at social development, we have to speak of citizen security, yes, but we have to speak of justice. We have to speak of rights. As you know, Peter Tosh has said, he wants equal rights and justice. Don't give me no peace, I want equal rights and justice. And unless citizens see themselves as owning or owning a process of development, of inclusion, they will not feel as if, yes, it is for their benefit. Our experience has shown, and I'm sure JCIF and other agencies have shown, that residents of vulnerable communities wholeheartedly support and embrace social interventions when they are a part of the process. We deal with crime prevention. As you know, crime and violence is multifaceted. It has many different actors, many different players, many different sectors. We do not treat with crime control, or crime suppression, which we see as the work of the security forces. We think that crime prevention is critical to the development of Jamaica, to treating with crime and violence. And crime prevention starts before a child is born.
Yes.
And it goes way on into adulthood. We have not yet, and the chairman spoke about it, recognized fully the importance or the knowledge. We do not know how important crime prevention is, in that we have to treat with it in a sustained, multifaceted manner. In a nutshell, no ministry should get a budget passed each fiscal year without showing the country where in that budget is the allocation for activities to treat with crime prevention. Because it is so multifaceted, it touches on every sector. Every sector has a role to play. And let me repeat, no budget should be approved unless we can see where that sector, what that sector is doing. We welcome the idea of an oversight or a commission, because what we have observed is that the lack of collaboration among the sectors is one of the handicaps. It is something which causes waste, inefficiency, lack of adequate outcomes. And until the government can have a robust, very robust mechanism, institutional arrangement to ensure that there's collaboration between education, health, national security, all of these sectors working in their own way, but at the same time, designing together, implementing together, evaluating together. Until we get that, we will be groping in the dark to a large extent.
And that's it for coverage of the final PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018. I'm Javon Keys for Business Access TV, serious about business.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
The earliest depiction of a fist fight with any kind of gloves can be found on the Greek island of Crete and came from the Minoan Bronze Age civilization. Fist fight, as it was termed then, became a popular spectator sport in ancient Rome, but was later abolished during the gladiator period in AD 393 because of excessive brutality. Much later in the 16th century, the sport resurfaced in England and was for the first time called boxing in the 1680s. It was on that date that Christopher Monk, who later became Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica, engineered a bout between his butler and his butcher. The butler won. It was the first recorded boxing match. Throughout the 17th to 19th centuries, boxing bouts were motivated by money. And when amateur boxing became an Olympic sport in 1908, it further motivated many persons to look at the sport as a full-time profession. Being a professional boxer is what we explore on this episode of Career Moves.
My name is Sakima Mullins, and I'm a boxer. I'm an 80s baby, and myself and my family, we migrated from Jamaica when I was very young. While I was growing up in New York, boxing used to come on the local channels and all the biggest fights, the Ray Leonard fights, the Mike Tyson fights, the Hearn fights, the Hagler fights, the Duran fights, all these fights used to come on local TV. So what drew me to boxing is just the fact that, you know, on Saturday mornings, Saturday nights, all throughout the weekends, we used to be able to watch the biggest fights on TV. I didn't know that I wanted to be a fighter at first. It's something that I enjoyed growing up as a fan.
Usually people's career choices stem from the passion and talent they have for doing it. For boxer Sakima Mullins, transitioning from being a fan to his own career in boxing started out of curiosity and a personal challenge.
When I was 17, I had one of my really good friends that I used to hang out with all the time. During the midday, every day, he used to leave and he said that he would have something to go do, and he never told us what it was that he was doing. So one day, you know, I took it up on myself to follow him to see what he was doing, and he brought me to the boxing gym. So I said, this is what you're doing all the time, and I went through the routine, his training routine with him and his trainer. I'm very competitive by nature, and I've always been athletic. And after doing the boxing workout, I felt it was a different type of fitness, it was a different type of conditioning, and it was really tough and vigorous. My competitive nature told me that, you know what, I felt defeated after doing one day of work within a boxing gym. So me being as competitive as I am, I wanted to get back into the gym and prove to myself and to others that I could conquer just even the boxing fitness aspect of the sport. And I've stuck with it ever since then, and that's what drew me into the sport on a competitive basis.
Quite often, we hear of persons whose career choice is not really their own choice. Had it not been for Sakima's love for the sport and drive to make it a successful career, likely we'd by now associate his name with finance.
When I was growing up, the most successful person in my family was my uncle, and he was the figurehead of my whole family. My uncle worked as a financial advisor, so, you know, rightfully so, walking in the footsteps is just that when I went to school, when I went to university, I studied finance because it was what was expected of me. It was what I was supposed to do. And after studying finance, you know, I graduated from the State University of New York at New Paltz with a Bachelor's of Science in Finance. And after going through 4 years of finance, said, it's not really what I wanted to do. So, you know, made a promise to my mother that I would go to the university. I was boxing before I went to university, and that I would get my degree. I got my degree. But after, you know, everything was all said and done, I made a half-hearted attempt to look for a job within the financial sector, but I found myself right back into in the boxing gyms and doing what I love.
There are many unrealized benefits to boxing, in addition to the recognition and monetary reward. Here are a few.
A lot of people use boxing as a hobby. A lot of people take boxing seriously as a career. A lot of people use boxing as the new trend all around the world is boxing fitness, because people realize that, you know, by doing your standard boxer's training routine, you can burn up to over 1,000 calories in an hour's training session. It works on your socializational skills, and also it builds your confidence. Once you start to get into better shape, once you start to increase your strength, it will build your confidence, increase your character. I've been in tons of boxing gyms all over the place, and then you'll see that boxing is humbling, because you'll have the toughest guys that come in. And once they get into the boxing gym, they realize that there's guys that's a quarter their size and a half their size that can humble them in the boxing ring. So in the process, they become humbled, and the bullying and a lot of things that they used to do before they came into the boxing gym, a lot of that stuff stops. The weakest guys that walk into the gym that have self-confidence problems, as they start to train and they become stronger, they become more confident. So boxing it has a lot of emotional and psychological effects that it helps with people with also. In boxing, they say, give us your weak, give us your poor, give us your disenfranchised, and we can turn them into champions. You know, you could have somebody out there that's weak, somebody that doesn't have anything else going on for them. It develops your health and it develops your strength while giving you opportunity. In light of all of the other options and avenues that people use boxing for, I chose boxing as a career because I love to fight and I'm good at it and I was born to fight. Any fighter that has himself as his trainer and believes that he can train himself has a fool for a trainer. You need a great team around you, otherwise it's very difficult to make it in the sport. And trainer is one of the greatest things that you can have in terms of an asset.
Internal audit. Internal audit service is vital when organizations aim to achieve reliable financial reports and regulatory compliance, navigating risks, streamlining operations, and promoting stakeholder confidence. The benefits of a high-quality internal audit are limitless, especially when you secure yours from a firm with deep industry experience, exposure to hundreds of organizations, dedicated professionals, and proven methodologies. Whether you're looking to establish an internal audit function, attain or maintain compliance with various regulations, mitigate your risk of fraud, or gain an overall assessment of your internal controls, you can count on Dodge & Global for reliable and timely business solutions. We've helped organizations nationwide and across industries to establish internal control structures, create an internal audit function, or improve an existing one, and maintain regulatory compliance. We provide ongoing education as regulations and public perceptions change. We are trusted advisors for management and boards. External auditors can be confident in our work and its results. Let Dodge & Global be a turnkey solution for your organization. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Boxing is an okay sport, and if you're really interested in it, it can be your source of survival.
I don't really like it because they're gonna be like so tough and muscular, and I'm not that type of person.
I think if they love it and it's profitable to them and that they will make money, yes, they'll always try to do it to the best of their ability.
Maybe people could earn a living as being a boxer, because if it's a sport that someone really likes, then why not play it and earn money? So my thoughts, maybe it can work for people, but not maybe Jamaicans, because you know Jamaicans might take defensive actions sometime and people might get hurt.
If you're good at it, I guess that you should go, but considering it's not a lot of people will be able to get into, you must go into something that's in demand.
If it's something that will pay you, the injuries that you might get, the money that you might get for your pay may not cover the medical cost or all of that.
Boxing is a very worldwide career. It can make money out of it and show other countries that we have talent and we can do good in boxing.
I think it can be a career and it should be a career, because I love to box in the future, you know what I mean?
if me be a boxer and me get beat up, I want to bring it to the next level. When the bell ring, me still fight this.
Because boxing is largely recognized as a sport, there are no prerequisites. Certainly, though, those who make it a successful career boast talent, discipline, a trainer, and a good management team.
The LBCs, the local boxing commissions, and the boxing administrators, they have what they set up in terms of allowing fighters to come in and to compete competitively as an amateur. When you first enter the amateurs, if you enter at the age that I entered at 17, you have the choice to enter as a junior or to enter into the novice class. As a junior, it allows you to fight with other youth your age. If you enter the novice class goes from 16 to 35. You're fighting against other teens, but you could end up fighting a grown man also at that age. The thing that protects you as a fighter is that once you enter in at the novice class, you're fighting people with similar fight experience as you, and which in boxing you learn as a fighter that it's not really age and it's not really anything else. The most important factor in predetermining what will happen in a fight is experience. There's no prerequisites for becoming a professional fighter. Sad but true. All your learning is done school of the hard knocks. All your learning is done in the gym and it's done in the ring. It's a decision in terms of going professional and leaving the amateurs that you have to make with your team, with your family. You have to speak to your coach. Coach, you think I'm ready? And you know, at the end of the day, then it's about finding a manager and a promoter. Amateurs don't have managers and you don't have promoters. Once you become a professional, you need a good manager and you need a good promoter behind you, along with your trainer. To be a good amateur, to be a good boxer, you have to invest in yourself in terms of buying quality equipment. You know, you have to invest in yourselves in terms of spending your money to get to training. You have to invest in yourself in terms of joining a good gym, and also about eating proper and maintaining proper nutrition and diet. You have to make investment into yourself in terms of knowledge. You have to research boxing knowledge. Look at past fights. Look at other fighters that have been successful. But these are some of the investments that you have to make within yourself to become a good fighter. What you do in the amateurs can springboard you into becoming a better professional. The amateur that has had 100 amateur fights and has won medals at amateur games and world championships and Olympic medals is usually sought after by a promoter or a manager, and that amateur will receive a signing bonus, and he usually has a smoother path to attaining his goals of becoming a professional world champion. The guy that just walks in off the street and says, yeah, I want to fight, he has to really be able to fight, because he's most likely not going to have a manager or a promoter to help him guide him through his career until he proves that he can fight. In this sport, there's a big distinction and a big difference between identifying talent and developing skill. Talent is what the guys come in with the gym. Some guys are great athletes, and they're talented athletes in terms of their strength, in terms of their speed, in terms of their power, in terms of their balance. Some guys also have the natural inclination to fight and the natural aggression and desire to fight. And these are things that, naturally that are just God-given. But on top of that, now it's for the trainer to develop their boxing skill, develop their boxing IQ, because it's only going to be a matter of time before you run into another athlete that's just as strong as you, that's just as fast as you. And it's the one, now you have equal talent, but the fighter that will win is the one that can think, who's a smarter fighter, who's a well-schooled fighter, and who has spent time developing his boxing skill. Any fighter that has himself as his trainer and believes that he can train himself has a fool for a trainer. You need a great team around you, otherwise it's very difficult to make it in the sport. And trainer is one of the greatest things that you can have in terms of an asset.
My name is Kingsley Goodison. I'm a director of the Jamaica Boxing Board of Control. I function as the manager of this gym and also with the amateurs. I'm involved in the development of the amateur boxers, youngsters particularly, the juniors from age 12 up to 17. I'm more or less a mentor for those kids. You're a father figure, a big brother, a confidant, a friend, and you know, see to that they are more or less comfortable in what they are doing. And in life in general, how to conduct yourself in and out of the ring, also in and out of the gym. Been on a couple of trips as a manager for the Jamaica boxing team. I've also been to India with the Commonwealth Games and also the Pan Am trials in Trinidad. Any regular guy or any regular person can be a manager of the biggest boxer or any boxer at all. That would be an arrangement between the boxer and the individual. If the individual has means to take care of the boxer, like the professional aspect of it, to see to that his nutrition is properly taken care of, and his everyday expenses and things like that. You can always be a manager for it. The technical aspect of the game would be the rights of the coach. He would be telling the boxer, whether it's Mr. Mullins or the boxer, right? They would work out the tactical part of that. But like they said, the monetary part of it, that's more or less, that's a thing to be worked out by the boxer, and to see how comfortable he is with that individual as manager. Most of the time the coaches are former boxers with a vast amount of experience, so they can see things that you don't see while you're in the ring. So like for instance, when the bell goes for the end of a round, that is where the technical work comes in. The coach will tell the boxer that, boy, you're not jabbing enough, right? And you have to throw more uppercuts, right? Or more right hands and those things, and you're not bobbing and weaving enough. You have to go in and come out, all those sort of things. So don't care how great a boxer you is, you're going to need a technical man.
If there's a demand for to watch Sakima Mullins fight, my manager can make a case for me to say, boy, you know what, my fighter can guarantee you to sell X, Y, Z amount of tickets, so my fighter demands this amount of money, otherwise he doesn't fight.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Fans, sponsors, and judges get to see and determine who a good boxer is when he or she competes. Boxers, like other athletes, spend weeks if not months getting as prepared as possible and must develop discipline to stay prepared.
To be a boxer, it's a lifestyle. So you have to change the way you eat. Your diet is very important. You have to change the way you sleep. There's no, when it's time to rest, you have to get your rest. You have to sacrifice your social life. Your relationships will, there's a lot of sacrifice in terms of your relationships with your partner. Also with, spending quality time with your family. When it's fight time and you have to go into that camp for 6 to 8 weeks, and there's another man somewhere else in the world that's putting in his 6 to 8 weeks and he's training to hurt you, you have to dedicate yourself and you have to remain disciplined to what you signed up to do. So, you know, boxing, it becomes a lifestyle. It changes almost every aspect of your life. And even after that, that 8 to 10 week training camp is over, you just can't let yourself go and forget about your diet and blow yourself up and put on 100 pounds, because when the next fight is coming around, if you spend your whole camp just trying to take off weight and not improving your skill or your technique, you just lost before you even got in the ring. When you don't have a fight, you can have a certain level of relaxation, but you can never completely relax in this sport because there's always another fight and the call can always come in and you always have to be ready. The main challenges I feel that I received in this sport is that more than any, it's not anything to do with actually competing as a fighter. I believe that I put in the hard work, I'm disciplined, and this is what I want to do. My main challenges that I've received in this sport are outside of the ring. I think that I've received more of a challenge than inside of the ring. It's the hurdles in terms of making the fights happen and the hoops that we have to jump through to try to make these fights happen, and the system that's set in place that it feels like to stop these fights from happening. For what reason? I don't know.
Find out how a boxer gets compensated.
It's not an exact science or an exact formula, but the most important factor in terms of determining a fighter's pay, determining what they call in boxing his purse, is his marketability. You know, the fighter gets paid based off of how many people you bring into the arena. It's just like how many tickets can you sell? How many pay-per-views can you sell? Who wants to see Sakima Mullins fight? My manager can make a case for me to say, boy, you know what? My fighter can guarantee you to sell X, Y, Z amount of tickets, so my fighter demands this amount of money, otherwise he doesn't fight. And that's the greatest factor in determining how much you get paid as a fighter. On top of that now, bargaining chips in this sport include if you win a title, your pay scale rises. If you have a good record or if you have an undefeated record, it attracts other fighters to want to fight you. That will increase your pay scale in the sport. But ultimately, what determines your pay scale in this sport is your marketability. A boxer can earn from endorsements, sponsorships. Actually, you know, a lot of fighters have their own gyms. A lot of fighters do personal training sessions and different things like that. Your typical fighter that just enters this sport and you are leaving the amateurs and you weren't a world champion and you weren't a Olympic champion, you can look to earn $400 US in your first fight, $100 a round, 4 rounds, and that's standard right across the world. As you protect your record and you improve as a fighter, you can earn up to 100, 200 million like Floyd Mayweather in the big fight that he had a couple months ago against Manny Pacquiao. But you have to take it all in perspective. It's just like, you have to become marketable as a fighter and you have to win titles, and these are the things that increase your pay scale. A young fighter leaving the amateurs, turning professional, looks to fight as often as possible. He's fighting 4-round fights, 6-round fights. So he would like, within his first year or 2 years of fighting professional, you would like to fight maybe, 6 to 8 times a year. A fighter at my stage, you know, I have 20 fights. My record is currently 18-2. I would look to fight maybe more 3 to 4 times a year. A fighter at the top of the game with maybe 30, 40 fights, like the caliber of a Floyd Mayweather, looks to fight maybe twice a year. Well, as of right now, based off the boxing landscape, everybody knows the cash cow of boxing is Floyd Mayweather. And it would sound cliche to say that, you know, that's the fight that we want, but of course it is, man. Everybody wants to fight the best to prove that they're the best. Floyd, I'm here, man. You know, when you're ready, I'm ready. Just give me a call and we're ready for that fight.
A career in boxing can be very rewarding once you're willing to put in the work and be disciplined. Despite the benefits and reward, Sakima Mullins emphasizes what matters most is the drive to be the best.
My advice to anybody that wants to do anything in life. It doesn't have to be boxing. For me, it was becoming a boxer because that's my passion and it's what I wanted to do. But you know, it's simple. You have to follow your heart. Don't chase any career based off of name recognition, based off of prestige, based off of status, based off of money. You know, whatever you do, at the end of the day, the number one factor when making your decision is, do I love what I'm doing, and would I do it if money or anything else wasn't involved? If nothing else was involved, I would be in a boxing gym every day, you know? So it's just, you have to make your decision based off of, am I doing what I truly love? And am I doing it for this reason? If you can answer yes to that question, by all means, pursue it.
Our women are the backbone of our society. They deserve to be protected and respected. Domestic violence is not okay. Speak up and speak out. No more violence against women.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
This week on The Good Life, we visit the pain clinic where one Oriental doctor has used his experience with pain to develop a well-integrated approach to help his patients. Back pain, knee pain, anyone? Stick with us. Before we get into the thick of things, what is pain?
Pain is physical suffering or discomfort that arises because of injury or trauma or illness. And it is something that is multifactorial. There are a number of different things that contribute to pain. I mean, specifically say joint pain is one of the most common things that people come to see us for. It's the arthritis or trauma of neck and back and joint pain. And it really happens if you think of it because joints are slow tissues, they don't get much blood supply. And so once they're injured, they don't tend to get better very easily. So things like aging and wear and tear, or traumas and accidents and falls, or, as we know, all of our little illnesses that have happened recently, the viruses like chikungunya and Zika and so on, they all dengue, West Nile virus, they all target joints and damage them and make them hurt even more. And so joints are a really good example of what happens to us really as we get older. So basically, we need to be getting older less quickly. We need to help these tissues to recover, not just to treat the pain, but to actually help to speed healing. So it's not just that your back is hurting you, but your back needs to get better. So we not just treat the pain, but we treat the underlying causes of injury to tissues over time, which makes the multimodal approach of a place like the pain clinic what is happening in the world now in effective treatment of pain.
Talk to me about how you got started. Why did you decide to, open up the pain clinic?
I grew up in the country in Jamaica here, and we all always used natural things. You know, it was always important to have, you know, plenty exercise and to run around and drink clean water and breathe fresh air and have healthy diet. And my mother was one of my great inspirations. She was always very interested in a healthy life. You know, so being aware, being mindful of everything that you do, your diet, exercise, and everything else. So I was always a vegetarian from young in life and always very athletic and interested in a lot of sports. And I always enjoyed adventure sports, like outdoor sports and then rock climbing, mountaineering, all of these things that usually involve injuries, and usually the injuries are pretty bad. So I actually hyperextended, I broke my back, as it were. So I was twisted my back all the way to the front and had a very, very serious spinal injury when I was in my teenage years, about 17 or 18. And so that took me years to recover from. I mean, I was on, you know, medications, you know, spinal adjustment, physical therapy, and ongoing medication as well. This is something that I was a lot of pain for many years, but I was very active and everything and decided that I'm gonna get better. About 8 years later, an avalanche hit me. So I actually had another very severe injury involving twisting my body all around, damaging my joints severely and so on. And I was actually becoming a clinical psychologist. That was the first thing really that I studied. And in my last year then, you know, I had this horrible accident. And a friend of mine said, you should try acupuncture. You know, it's a thing that really has helped me to recover from my back injury. I tried it and it actually was amazingly effective. It was a thing that made more of a difference than anything else did. And I realized that I was doing all of the 3 M's of physical therapy before, the massage to relax the muscles, mobilization, which is the physiotherapy that we think of, you know, stretching and strengthening exercises, and then manipulation, which are adjustments of joints like chiropractic, like Dorn methods and Schroth, their German methods, your Asian methods, your manipulating your spine is important also. But so I was doing all of the things you needed to reduce stress on your body, or reduce, you know, the damage that's ongoing, but nothing to actually help it get better. And so the acupuncture part is the fascinating part that actually increases tissue performance so you can get better. In Asia, for thousands of years, people couldn't replace their hip or their knee. They had to get better. And so the performance of your tissues had to increase. And so that is why 1/5 of the world's population uses acupuncture on a regular basis, because it will allow your body to heal and allow everything to increase its quality of functioning. Everything will work better and specific injuries will get better more quickly. Another 1/5 of the world's population uses turmeric and ginger and anti-inflammatory herbs. So again, we have a regular use of things that help to keep our quality of health better. You know, everything requires an increase in performance. So personally, it was amazing, the recovery that I made. And I had been suffering really with pain for almost a decade now. And that inspired me really to continue to study. Largely because my doctor said then, you know, I think you should study because given your track record, you're probably going to mash up yourself again. And so why not, you know, learn a little more about it. So then it became, again, I studied then naturopathic medicine and then oriental medicine, which have complete approaches. So they're not these isolated approaches of one therapy. One therapy is not likely to ever help you very much, but using all of the therapies together in a meaningful way allows you not just to feel better, but actually to get better. And so that then became the model on which the pain clinic was founded.
My name is Beverly Newman, and I've been coming to Dr. Becker's pain clinic for several years, maybe as long as 10 years. And I can certainly recommend it to anyone who is having pain problems or problems with depression, or many other medical problems. My problem is mainly with my back. I started off with having terrible pain going down my leg, and I reached a stage where the doctors told me that I would have to be in a wheelchair or have surgery. So I had surgery and it was successful. I can walk, but now that I'm getting older, I have a lot of pain in my lower back, and Dr. Becker is able to help me with that. He also has a lot of his own herbal preparations, which are excellent. I get the one for pain, which has a lot of cayenne pepper in it. And I get my back rubbed every night, and I certainly can recommend it. I come for acupuncture, and I try to come once a week. I'd love to come more often, but it's just it's just too expensive. But once a week is a real big help.
I'm Kenneth Newman, and my wife has encouraged me to come for treatments, as she has found it very helpful over a period of, as she said, probably exceeding 8 years. And I have about one treatment per month, unless of course I feel the need for it. My problem is not so much pain as, you know, the stresses and strains of business life. And it's very relaxing, and I feel invigorated once you get a treatment. And I would really love to come more often, but of course, you know, we have to be moderate. I also am convinced that the herbal preparations are useful. I feel quite satisfied that, especially my wife, who has had a lot of problems, health problems, has certainly benefited from the treatments she's been getting.
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work. The GLC, more than meets the eye.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to The Good Life. So I've had a hectic week, up and down, shooting all week. What do you recommend?
Again, effective treatment of pain is something that is, what we've learned is, needs to be multimodal. Because pain is this multifactorial thing, all these different things contribute to pain, from aging and wear and tear to traumas or falls or heavy days, psychological stress, physical stress. And so we need to have multimodal treatment. We need to have all of the things that work, not just one or two treatments. Again, this is what effective treatment is all about, and which is why the pain clinic's approach and our model is really what the industry's leading model is right now. So most people, for example, with your long and busy days, have a lot of neck and back pain and tension, right? So that's something that we would do, first of all, for example, massage to relax the muscles in the area. And there are very intensive massage techniques and soft tissue techniques that are, say, deep tissue sculpting or myofascial release and so on, that are very intensive massages that don't hurt but are very intensive. Something like acupuncture will come along as well too, to help to increase tissue performance, to speed healing and relax you and bring more blood supply to the tissues. So then the stretching and strengthening exercises come along. And then spinal line alignment also plays an important role. With muscles pulling on the vertebrae are pulled out of proper alignment, so they're twisted or rotated out of proper alignment. And so, yes, we can get started. Right, okay. So typically when we start off with relaxing your muscles, right? So lying down on a heating pad like this helps your muscles to relax. We also do the deep tissue massage segment. So we work on your back, upper back and neck, and then deeply relax and release muscles throughout your body. Right? Again, that's important because all of your body is connected. It's not just that your neck and upper back are hurting. Neck and upper back function together with your back. Your body transfers force in triangles. At this point, but not wipe it, okay? There we go. So we clean our areas that we're going to use. We want to increase blood supply. So we do some points that are deeply relaxing, which is what the point in the forehead does. It relaxes muscles in and around your scalp and face, which is a big part of where we all accumulate muscle tension. So if I can relax, again, the most important parts of your body, then all of your body will follow. Acupuncture is a 3-year to 5-year course of study. It's something that is extremely precise, and this formula actually is one of the most ancient formulas. Acupuncture is called the secret of kings, princes, and warlords to sire 100 sons. The idea is again to increase tissue performance. This is something that is deeply relaxing. The needles are thinner than a hair; you really don't feel them, but they are deeply relaxing. Your body immediately responds to them because they're a foreign object that's past your body's defenses. Okay, so as we look at, as part of our treatments, we always do step by step moving through the different treatments, right? And you do either with me or other therapists, and we work together. Now, if you notice here, so we would have done our massage part already, right? So now we want to do, having relaxed the muscles and also brought more blood supply to the tendons and joints and ligaments, everything becomes more elastic, so everything moves more freely and with less pain, right? So we want to then move on to our physical therapy and our adjustment routine. Now, if we press and notice, I'm just checking out here and palpating, getting a feeling for what the tissues are like. And I notice that this tendon is desiccated, it's dried and strained basically. It sounds terrible, huh? From usually too much muscle tension. So if your muscles are too tight too much of the time, they're pulling on the tendons, right? And things that are, if you pull, it'll flatten it out and it'll lose a lot of its lubrication, as it were, blood from the tissue, and it desiccates, it dries, and dry things tear more easily than wet things, right, which tend to stretch more easily. So we want to relax these muscles here, right? If we don't relax the muscles and we adjust you'll just pull it right back out again. It's usually because the muscles are so tight that something gets pulled out of alignment, right? So we need to not just align you and send you home, then it's just going to fall out again. That's wasting your time. And we need to deeply relax everything and help to make sure that you follow up on the alignment with stretching exercises that reduce that muscle tension, and so it doesn't build up and pull it right back out again, right? So we want to stretch you like a clock. And we're going to stretch these long muscles and these diagonal ones, your levator scapular muscles. This is the one that's hurt more for you, and then your traps on top. So like a clock, you lean over, there we go, and push gently and relax and let it fall. And we do that usually 4 times and then hold it for 2 breaths. And then like a clock, we move from 9 o'clock to 10:30. So you move from one position to the next like a clock. Then you push up and release. There we go. Felt that release? That's what we want there. And relax down. If a joint is hurt, we don't want to rough it up. We need to move it gently. And always use that PNF related stretch, the push, release, push, release, push, release. So it ratchets down, So again, if we would let's do this corner here. which is the most important one for you. You start at your maximum, you never force it. Stretching works, but it doesn't last. Like a rubber band, if I stretch you and let you go, you're back where you started. But if I trick the Golgi organ in the tendon into releasing the muscle actually got longer. We didn't stretch it. Or we did stretch it, but it stayed stretched. Push, and then relax, and let it fall. There we go. Felt that release? And push, and release. And push, and release. And just release. And always rotate back to the 12 o'clock. So you release all of these muscle groups, and then you use one that you did not really release, right? To lift your head back up, so we preserve the elongation of all of these muscles. One is frequency. You need to do them regularly throughout every day in order to really get better, right? Not just feel better, but really get better. And then compliance. No matter how good it is, if you don't do it, it won't work. And so these new routines are very short and simple. Anybody can learn them in just a few minutes. We have nice handouts for them as well too. They're good to stick up and help you to remember.
So Dr. Becker, what about joint pain? You know, people have arthritis, and I can't really think of any other joint pain.
Yes. Now, joint pain is again one of these things that is multifactorial. The same things we talked about a while ago. The three main things that contribute are aging, wear and tear, so use and heavier use, say with athletes, for example, or with people getting older, like all of us, right? Then trauma, accidents and falls and so on, or an high impact sport like football, for example, or tennis, right? And so it's repeated injury over time. Or infections like chikungunya and Zika and dengue and West Nile virus and all of this. All of these things damage our joints and wear them away. So if you were sitting for 45 minutes or more, or standing, for example, you will have lost a lot of your joint volume because you weren't moving a lot, right? And so you want to wake them up again. So you want to gently move your knees. So 1/3, say. So small movement. And then a bigger movement, 2/3, a few times. And then the biggest movement that you can make without pain 3 times, straightening the legs but not locking them.
Okay.
So 3 times, and then go back to little movements. Now these small movements gently activate, say bring more blood supply, synovial fluid, everything into your joints. You'll hear them crack and pop sometimes. That's because their volume is increasing, but gently, not by some dramatic technique, right?
Yeah.
Gently increasing the volume of the joints so that they work better and feel better and are capable now of accepting your body weight when you stand up.
Right.
So if you notice, this is what children do when they sit down. They're swinging their legs. That's so they are maintaining the volume of the joint so that they can get up and go.
So Dr. Becker, if the routines are so quick and easy, why aren't more people, practicing them?
Well, again, if we look at systems of healthcare, so our healthcare system has really become a sick care system. You don't go to the doctor when you're sick, right? In these ancient systems, they needed healthcare. They needed people to stay healthy because they didn't have surgery the way we have them, or pharmaceutical drugs to help them when they were really badly hurt. You had to stay healthy. And so our systems now, healthcare systems in the world, in Europe, for example, have noticed this and are incorporating a lot more of these techniques so that you can have them every day, have access to them every day. Doing these simple exercises reduce muscle tension, reduce stress, keep your joints healthy and pain-free and functioning well, and they're so simple that, of course, everybody should be doing them. All doctors should be recommending them. But again, pharmaceutical companies write our textbooks. And you have all these little tools that you can use repeatedly throughout the day, like you doing all of your standing and so on. Good to take a break, 2.5-minute break. And sit down, do range of motion for your ankles, which go in a circle, your knees, which go back and forth, your hips, which go in and out, right? And then we can cross over the leg and stretch your back. It's something that these gentle twisting exercises can sometimes crack your back and so on, but that's not desired actually. What's desired is to increase the range of motion of the joint and to do it gently so that you actually increase it in a way that you can maintain. So again, we keep you healthier throughout the day.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point. Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show and Weekend Business Report, Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
So we're wrapping up our day here at the Pain Clinic. I did my joint alignment, my stretching exercises, and of course acupuncture. But Dr. Becker, what else does the Pain Clinic offer that makes it so special?
The Pain Clinic's model is actually now an industry-leading model. This is the most modern approach that we have, the most effective by far approach that we have to treating pain. And it actually is interesting because it comes out of one of the most ancient approaches. And so we are all getting older and needing to do all of these things more and more now. And so it is much more effective, you know, if you can learn to do as much as you can. So you can come somewhere that in one place doesn't just give you one treatment. In one place we give you all of the treatments that you need from right along, from, you know, nutrition. So we assess your nutrition, your dietary recommendations, your dietary needs. You know, we have supplementation that we talk about as well. We evaluate you as far as medical health or so on. We have doctors that work with us too, right? That are regular medical doctors and surgeons, right? So no matter what kind of care you need, the Pain Clinic has everything for you in one place so that you have a completely well-integrated program that is tailored exactly to your needs. So all of the therapies are available here in a way that we can tailor it to exactly what you need in one place. So, I mean, we also have, for example, a line of herbal products called Dr. Bird Herbals. That includes, I mean, organic Jamaican herbs that are grown with the highest quality and processed in our manufacturing facility. This is something that gives our Jamaican herbs, which are absolutely fantastic in quality, a lot more effectiveness because we are again using a concentrated extraction process that makes the formulas extremely effective. And we have a wide variety of formulas. You can have a look at our products again on our website. It's drheinzbecker.com, DOCTORHEINZ, you know, Becker, BECKER, or thepainclinicjamaica.com, or drbirdherbals.com, DOCTOR. And now with all of the research supporting things like turmeric, you know, things like cerci, cinnamon, there are so many things, or cheney root, or anti-inflammatories. You know, I mean, people need to use them more. Go to Jamaica and export them. Hello.
We went through a variety of treatment options. What about pricing? I think a lot of people are concerned these days about cost.
Yeah. Well, again, we have a range of costs depending on the treatments, and we always try to fit in as many treatments as possible into one session so that you don't have to do repeated treatments. So treatments range from, say, 4, 5, 5, 5 upwards and so on and around there. And so it depends really on what it is that you need. But again, we always have plans for athletes, for students, for, you know, seniors, so on, so that our services are affordable to everyone. Because it is, again, what the Pain Clinic is all about. I had my terrible accidents when I was younger, and I've learned a lot of what it is that you actually need to not just feel less pain, but actually to get better. And so that's something that we always teach, incorporate into your treatments, so that you go home right away knowing what to do. With that, you get better and better and more independent and better able to take care, you know, of your body. So not just get better, but, you know, have a healthier and happier life.
So let's say I wanted to make an appointment. How do I go about doing that?
Well, again, you can you can look us up in the phone book, right? So you can look up Dr. Heinz Becker. You can look up in Natural Health and Medicine. We're there. The Pain Clinic is there, and so on. On the website again, thepainclinicjamaica.com.
Pain may come, but it doesn't have to stay. The Pain Clinic is the perfect place to try all natural methods to relieve discomfort. Until next week, you've been watching The Good Life, and I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we knock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
My name is Christelle Harris. You're watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
The BPO industry is one of the fastest growing industries in Jamaica. Hundreds of young people were introduced to various BPO companies at the Jampro BPO Career Fair hosted at the University of Technology. Business Access TV was there to bring you the highlights.
This is the first Jampro BPO Career Fair. Why was it important for this to get off the ground this year?
Because I think a lot of people have a really erroneous idea of what BPO is. They think it's just about call centers and sitting in a room with telephones, when actually it's interacting with technology. It's all about customers, but it's about what does the customer need. So sometimes the customer needs tech support, sometimes they need help with a legal matter, sometimes they have an accounting problem. So it's all different types of problems that BPO deals with.
What would you say is the relevance of the BPO industry in Jamaica?
Well, hugely relevant. It's the fastest growing industry we have. For the last 10 years, BPO has added each year between 5,000 and 10,000 jobs. There's no other industry in Jamaica today that can say that. So, and it's here and it's accelerating, and that's what's great about it.
What would you say is the overall goal or the aim for the career fair today?
We want to expose young people to the realities of BPO. We want them to hear from their peers, from their fellow young people about what it's like to work in the industry. We want to demystify the industry for them. We want them also to hear from some of the successful and expanding companies here about the job opportunities. And we want some of them, those who want to get signed up to a real job.
without any form of contradiction has provided the greatest mechanism through which we get far more jobs for the investment dollar than any other investment that has come to Jamaica over the last 10 or 15 years. So we want to spend time this morning to help you students to make a distinction, therefore, between business process outsourcing and call centers. So not just a call center, we're just answering persons, making queries, making complaints. The business process outsourcing organization is responsible for performing one part or a part of a process of another business organization, one in which outsourcing is done to save on cost or to improve productivity. And I've shared with persons that if you look at a normal firm where you have several departments in that firm, and it may be servicing generally the local industry. In the BPO setup, you have a number of persons who are doing similar jobs, but you are now serving international clients. So while you may be in Jamaica in a job, focusing only on the Jamaican clients, in the BPO sector, what you're now doing is in Jamaica. Instead of going to Singapore or going to Philippines or Austria or Finland or Canada to get a job, you can stay in Jamaica and get employment. That's basically what the concept is all about. And we talk about business process outsourcing, but it goes right at the highest level. We talk about knowledge process outsourcing. So whether you're an engineer, accountant, you're a graduate in banking, marketing, you can find a job because it simply means you have an organization that have clients all over the world. Legal process outsourcing. Recently we've been talking about the surplus of lawyers that we are producing in Jamaica. But here is an answer to the problem that through this particular organization, if you are a trained lawyer, there are legal services that are required internationally that we can provide for the world right here in Jamaica.
How important would you say an event like this today, the BP?
Government is promoting the industry. We think it offers, as I said, opportunity for maximum employment. And there's still some misunderstanding because BPO started off like the garment sector in the 80s and this time as a kind of low entry jobs. So most of the people are just basic literacy and numeracy entering to do telemarketing and call center operation, debt collection, in which what they need is just be taught to say the right things. And our dialect is quite easily modulated and they do it very well. And that was the area that many Jamaicans view business process outsourcing as. But as indicated, in the modern world, most aspects of business processing can be outsourced from human resources management, personnel management, accounting, insurance claims, all legal processing and so forth. And that's where we're heading now. So this fair is to give the young students an indication of what opportunities are there, what skills they can acquire, and what jobs they can get in the sector. And once they get in and acquire the skills, of course, some of them can go off to their own thing. In fact, I have a small group in Montego Bay of youngsters from the inner city who are doing a small company that does outsourcing of their own. So it's really to ensure that the upcoming generation understands the outsourcing activity, what it really means, and how we can participate in it in a meaningful way. And prevent us from really creating a kind of a bump, but rather a trajectory. Because Jamaica tends to do that. We do something, well, it gets excited, we employ 20,000 people and then bam, it falls apart. We need to ensure that we are part of the global economy, and outsourcing will be one of the things we provide because we can, Jamaica in terms of services and skills are very competitive and can do so where we are located successfully.
This morning we're here to look at business process outsourcing because the internet itself has made it possible that employment, research and innovation can be done anywhere in the world, and the business, more than half of any business process outsourcing process can be done anywhere in the world. So that the big companies, whether General Motors or Boeing, can in fact say to you, I want my accounts done in Timbuktu, in Niger, and it can be done and delivered to their office in real time. This is what has offered the opportunity that Jamaica can now interact with the entire global economy effectively and efficiently and generate opportunities for our young adults to practice their profession and earn real income. Entry-level jobs, yes, are relatively low income, but there's large numbers of Jamaicans who don't have the capacity yet to work at another level. But the availability and opportunities at the next level is there, and the jobs actually pay better than what now exists. In fact, recently I had a discussion with one of the companies, and I know the fact that they pay better than the banking industry. They pay better than the hotel industry, which is what we promote and many of us see as the way out of poverty and getting a job. Tourism does offer significant opportunities in Jamaica. Tourism has employed thousands of people, but the reality of life is that the difference between those at the top, who earn huge sums, and those at the bottom, unless they get tips, is extremely wide. And there are very few young people who can enter, even from this level, enter the tourism market as a training manager, and the salary offered, I know many UTech graduates have actually walked away unless they can do nothing else. The business process industry offers jobs in a tiered way, and many of them are much better paying for graduates. We have developed advantages in the area of business, and I know we are expanding to look at other areas of activity as the country has become known as a good destination with bright and creative people. This career fair this morning is a good place to expand your knowledge on what business source processing means. The government itself, of course, is committed to providing not only the opportunity, but the training that is required. But bear in mind, as I said, it is practice your profession. And the aspect of outsourcing is maybe a shorter part of the course. They seek individuals who are trained as engineers, in the legal profession, in the medical profession, as well as accounting, law, and other aspects of business.
Doggin Global Business Process Outsourcing. Doggin Global can help you with your day-to-day administrative and secretarial needs. We provide solutions for streamlining your accounting and bookkeeping procedures, so you can get on with running your business while knowing that all the accounting and statutory needs are being taken care of. Our BPO services include the following: bookkeeping, preparation of budgets, management accounts, and periodic financial analyses, provision of temporary or part-time accounting assistance, design and implementation of accounting systems, preparation of accounting manuals, payroll services, corporate secretarial services, assisting clients with their business entry strategy into the country, setting up new legal entities, maintaining minutes and other legal documents, non-executive directorships, preparing and submitting annual returns. For additional information, contact us at email info@doggin.global, website www.doggin.global.
Unemployment is not great in Jamaica, we all know that. So we're happy that BPO is bringing jobs to Jamaica, bringing opportunities to Jamaica, and it gives you an option. If you want to be a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, you want to be an actuary, you want to, whatever you want to do, you want to